Now, people say that when something horrible is about to happen, that they sense it, they just know something is out of place, and then they can't quite place what it is, but they feel that like something is about to go wrong. On the day you set out and you got kidnapped, did you sense anything? Was there a sense of foreboding?
None in particular. It was a regular Monday morning, rather Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Woke up from bed, and it was the activities pending in the office that was particularly on my mind.
Okay.
So it was just, let me get out of bed early enough, get a vehicle, get to the office, and get working.
Okay, so you didn't sense anything at all. Everything was perfect.
None at all.
Okay. All right. So when you got to the bus stop that morning, at about what time was this?
Usually I leave the house at about 10 minutes past 5, but on that day I left the house like 5:05.
5.
Yeah, because
from which area?
From Aguda.
Aguda, okay.
So in front of Excellence Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellence Hotel, yeah? That's where you boarded the bus from?
Yes.
Okay.
So the reason why I left earlier was because we had scheduled an interview for that day, and we were not done setting up, and I was with the office key.
Okay.
On a normal day, I'm not with the office key.
Yeah.
But the person who ought to be had another event to attend to, so I had to go early. So that was the reason for the rush.
Okay.
And it wasn't actually a bus, it was this it was a private car, this Sienna vehicle.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't even a painted vehicle. So
yes, it was a painted vehicle, but not the yellow black.
So wait, the Sienna vehicle was a private one, not painted yellow, like painted as a
regular commercial vehicle.
Okay. So when you were about to board, like how many people were in the bus?
Funny enough, I was the last to come in.
Oh, pretty much like the one chance thing that we talked about. Okay, so
and everyone was dressed like suit and tie.
People were suits.
Corporate dressing. And you know the way the Sienna is now, like 3 behind, 3 in the middle.
Yes.
So someone, not us to be the last.
Yes.
But like the 2 chairs in the middle on both ends, they have this backrest. So no one wants to sit in the middle. So it was that kind of setting that someone comes down, then
you go in. So somebody had to drop at that point for you to get on.
Yes.
Okay, so when you now got in, you were in between.
Yes, in between 2 guys.
And you were comfortable. You didn't just because everybody was dressed like they were going to work. So it didn't seem.
Yes. And prior to that day, like I could get vehicles like that. Sometimes it could be
go ahead.
Sometimes it could be a coastal bus. Sometimes it will be a regular bus. Sometimes it's a car. Sometimes it's a jeep.
Yes.
Basically, just quite a number of people heading same direction. Yes. You pay even less, most likely if it's private, if it's a coastal.
And then sometimes there might be AC and all that, so it's more comfortable than the regular buses. Okay, so you boarded this bus and then you were in between. Were there any stops?
None until when the.
Okay, tell us exactly what happened.
Okay, so
after boarding the bus, yes.
We moved, and then everything was calm. My mind definitely wasn't on a kidnap or on anything fishy. So, we went through. Not Bega, went through Alausa to link the express.
Okay.
But on getting to Alausa, the U-turn where the place where you make a U-turn like you're going to Magudu or coming back to Bega.
Yes.
The driver suddenly made that turn, and I'm like, what's going on? This is not the route. And then I was hit from behind. Then at that point, like I went unconscious. All I said
that must have been a major force. Somebody struck you really hard from the back. Okay.
All I said was, "What's going on? Why are we turning back?" And the hit was like the last that I could remember until I woke up again. That was most hours because by the time I woke up.
So you have been okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I was blindfolded, still in the car. It was on a bumpy road. I think I even woke up because of how rough the road was and everything. And I attempted talking, but when they're saying about sorrow, that because I knew what happened to me before I blanked out. I didn't want that happening again. But there was a second person. I don't know if the person was faking it or the person was also held hostage like myself.
Yes.
Because the person kept saying, whatever it is, I'll give you people, if it's money, my phone, all those kind of things, before I was taken into a place.
Yes.
Now, the place I was taken to, I keep people keep saying, so the room that you stayed in, actually it wasn't a room. It's something more like where should be a store in a house.
So sorry to interrupt. When you got to this building, it was a building, right?
Yes.
When you got to the building, how was the environment? Did it
I
seem
was still blindfolded until I got into the then I removed the blindfold myself.
Yourself, okay.
And I was left there alone,
Okay.
so that's why I was able to.
For how long?
2 days.
So it happened on a Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So you were in the room for 2 days.
Till Friday.
Till Friday. So in between Wednesday and Friday, what happened? And how were you able to tell that they were ritualists and not just kidnappers who wanted the ransom?
Okay, so my phones definitely were already taken. My wallet was taken.
Yeah.
My bag, okay, I had this bottle of water. I used to take this knapsack bag.
Yes.
So basically, that was like my only edible to say that I had with me. Yeah, the water. So on getting into the room now, like I was blank. Like I was trying to understand like what was going on. Like how did we get here? So there was a small window, but quite high, and there was nothing basically to step on to give me a lift. But I kept jumping to see if I could see anything. Basically, all I could see were just grasses, field trees, and all those scattered short trees. Okay. So, but I was just everywhere was quiet for the rest of that Wednesday.
Based on what you saw, did it seem like you were in a jungle?
Not particularly a forest, but you know this place is not developed. Not the way you look out of this place and you see other buildings. I couldn't see any other building.
Okay.
So it was just like maybe the person, maybe that compound, so there was an intention to have like a garden, but not the one that is currently green or the one that is currently producing stuff. Just like a deserted garden. That,
Okay, so back to the experience. You were in the room for 2 days. In between those 2 days, what were they? Did they come to you? Did they take you anywhere? Did you see certain
Wednesday,
things?
Nothing.
All of Wednesday,
For
you
the
didn't
rest
see
of
anyone.
Wednesday.
You didn't hear any voices. Nothing.
Nothing.
And then Thursday, what happened on Thursday?
Well, Wednesday, when there was nothing, like no one came to me, no noise at the background, just myself in the room. I slept, I woke up, slept, woke up. You know, not like you plan to sleep, but you just keep.
What was going on in your mind at that time?
All sort of.
What did you feel? Obviously, I'm assuming you felt terror.
At some point, I was like, oh, maybe today is my last day. At some point, I was like, okay, maybe someone is coming to get me. At some point, I'm like, why is it me? Like, what did I do to be in this particular situation, you know? I thought it was just in home videos that we used to see people get kidnapped and everything, until when it came close to me and I knew I was not acting no movies. So I was like, how come?
So you know? Were you waiting for death? Did you think that death was a possibility?
I was expecting anything, but what I just did, I just told God that however way it's going to turn out, you know. But I wasn't particularly praying.
Why?
Words were not coming. So if I would say I was praying, maybe it was just like from my mind to God, but I wasn't speaking anything. Yeah, so Thursday, I don't know if it's morning or evening, but at some point I began to hear voices. I wasn't sure if I should still be in panic mode or I should be happy, because it could either be they've come to take me to for whatever it is their purpose was, or probably rescue had come. So all I could overhear was left to me, like the interpretation of what the argument was, because they were raising their voices, was that probably they had gotten, you know, they took my phone and some kind of thing. So they're talking about someone that was supposed to bring money, but the person had gone to Lagos and the person hadn't come back. So probably maybe it was someone one of them that introduced them to that person or something. There was just something that was not adding up
like
amongst
somebody
them
who was
anymore.
supposed to come and pay
something like that
for the people kidnapped or something like that.
Or maybe someone had gone to sell the phones or any of the properties that was with myself and the other guy, and maybe was supposed to bring back money, then continue whatever they're supposed to do. But they were just arguing and raising their voices. In my mind, I was like, it could be good for me, it could also be bad for me. Because I had to put my ears very close to the door to be able to hear what they were saying. And after a while, one was even saying, they've even said that we should go and return these people back to wherever we picked them from. If we don't drop them back, the Kotafeshi, Koni Wale or some all those kind of like.
Could you say
this
that
is what
in
I'm
English?
saying.
Could you say that in English? What you just said?
Whatever it is that we plan to do, might not work.
Who? It was one of the people discussing that said that.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the reason why I'm not able to say what they were saying is they were not speaking this regular Yoruba. They were speaking, like this dialect stuff.
I see.
So that's what I'm saying. The little I was able to pick in normal this thing, that's what I'm able to say. So I was saying, okay, hopefully they will adhere to what they were told.
Yes.
And everything. I just knew that fine, definitely they'd have heard at home.
Yes.
They should be praying, they should be reaching out to people and trying to, get in touch with people. And Friday morning, okay, that's 2 days without food.
Yes.
Because nobody still came into that room until Friday morning.
Wednesday nobody came, Thursday nobody came. On Thursday all that happened was that you heard voices. People squabbling and then talking about whether they should return the people that have been kidnapped or not.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
arguing about money.
Okay. And then you were able to sleep through Wednesday and Thursday.
I didn't sleep like you plan to sleep. Like
okay.
You're in deep thoughts.
Yes.
You doze off a bit.
Yes.
You hear any sound that is weird, you
wake
up again, and then you might doze off again.
Okay, so Friday morning, what happened?
Friday morning, it was still very dark.
Yes.
2 guys came into the room and then they asked Fatoye, do you want to have a bath? I'm like, no. In my mind I was like, I've been here for 2 days.
Yes.
Why would I want to have my bath?
Yeah.
But compulsorily they asked me to remove my clothes. They just poured water on me and then asked me to dress up again. I dressed up and they blindfolded again, put me into the car, and then we started driving. This time I was awake all through the journey.
Like, for how long was this journey?
It was long.
You didn't have a watch, well, you couldn't even see, so there was no way you could tell. But
I didn't have one.
About 2 hours.
Maybe up to 2 hours or more, because the bumpy road was a very long ride before we eventually
it didn't seem like it was Lagos State.
Definitely not Lagos State. Before we were like on a smooth road, or let's say expressway. And then all through the journey, at that point I could pray. Although fine, I wasn't speaking out for them to hear, but I was just like, God, I don't know where I'm being taken to, whether it's the final place or I'm going back home. One of them. I just commit my life into your hands, and whatever the situation is, and that was it. Then eventually, when they realized that I wasn't able to understand their Yoruba, I think one of them now decided to break it down and spoke pidgin English. That where you they go, where they okay for you. At that point, what was on my mind was, I don't care wherever you drop me. Even if we're in a state I've never been to, just drop me, I can talk. I can locate the nearest police station, I can talk to the nearest person. But basically, let me just be off your hook, let me get out of this place. And then I just said, I'm fine anyway. And then the guy said, redeem Latife Deba. I said, I'm fine, I'm even like
redemption camp.
Yes. I was like, I'm like, this is perfect, like I didn't bother. The other guys were still arguing. They were saying, okay, I think the basic thing was it was almost done. So they were saying, how do you say this stuff? No, it's first shoe. It is the other one. Iletimo. Like it was. Yeah, like to soon be bright, so they had to move. So when the car finally came to a halt, they didn't even like. You know the way you move from the major express to the side of the bush. They didn't even do that. They just stopped still on the express. And then they were like, if I try, it's about paro, if I do this, if I do that,
that's means if
I scream, if I shout, if I do anything funny.
If you raise any alarm.
They would, So I just came down, I obeyed. I was even still blindfolded with like a bandana. When they left, I still even just paused for a few minutes. But when people, like when you speed off from brake straight to accelerator and you just move. When I heard that, I moved a little still into this thing and I removed the blindfold. I first stood there for like 5 minutes. I didn't move. Like my leg, like my mind wanted to move, but like there was no strength. I was like, where am I even going to go to go?
2 days of hunger. Yeah.
And even do I trust where I am.
Yes.
And what if they've gone to make a U-turn to come back again?
So where they dropped you, nobody was around for you to see what happened. No,
it was. Let me say it was around 6ish. Like when
you didn't see anyone when you took off the blindfold.
No.
Oh.
Just cars moving, regular cars.
By the express.
Yes. So it's basically opposite this youth church.
Okay, Redemption.
The Redeem Youth Church, that one with white paint and everything.
Yeah.
So that was the exact place where I was dropped. I started walking because at least I was familiar with that road.
Yeah.
I started walking. In fact, at that point, any vehicle that passes and is mentioned in any place, I will just not even answer. I'll just continue walking. So I walked, I jogged, I ran at several, paces as my strength could carry me. Eventually, I got to Redemption Camp. Getting to the gate, all that was on my own mind was, let me even get to, like, the altar.
Yes.
Once in a while I go for this Holy Ghost service and all this stuff. And let me even get to the altar. Let me just at least lie down there. If anybody sees me, fine. If anybody talks to me, fine. But let me just even go there and like thank God that at least I'm alive. Whether I even get home that day or not, that was not my problem. I always let me just get to the altar. But before I even got to the altar to do anything, I think they usually have like morning devotions or something within camp. So I just approached one man. I hadn't even said anything. Probably the man just felt maybe I was just coming to beg or something because I wasn't definitely looking alright. Fine, I was dressed corporate, like the shoe, the pant trouser, but I was all rough and everything. So the man just put his hand into his pocket and brought out. I didn't say anything, and he just gave me 500 naira. My man, I was like, well, I wasn't particularly going to ask for money, but this could help. So when I was coming into the compound, there were some guys that are making a recharge, like phone calls, selling recharge card and everything. So I went out back and then used one of their phones. I was trying to call them at home. Apparently at home here, people had been calling, claiming they have me because, according to them, they already put up stories about where my office was, all this kind of things. So you get some people saying
you had that on social media.
Yes.
Okay.
So they were reluctant to pick the call from an unknown number that morning, and apparently all of them even did the video that previous night. So this house was filled up, like they were all asleep, hoping that I called all my sister's phones, like the one who lives there.
Okay, wait. So are you saying that the people who kidnapped you might have been folks who needed a ransom to set you free? Because you mentioned now that some people have been calling asking that a certain sum be paid for them to release
Most
you.
of them actually weren't. They just wanted to use the opportunity
they were going to take advantage of.
Yes. So someone calls and is like, send 5 million naira. So they will not send the account's name and number. When you tell them to send the account number and name, they just back off. And another one says, and Aja, we took your brother because he's very stubborn. This. So another person calling my dad.
Pranks basically.
Yes, different things like that.
So, in all, now this was how you were rescued,
Yes.
which is what you just narrated. In all of this, what have you learnt? About what lessons have you gained from all this?
Well,
yes,
you cannot be too careful, but at least, basically, for instance, then till right now, I do my best not to always be in a hurry when I'm going out. As to be as watchful as possible. I find they say you cannot be too careful, but at least be careful to the extent that you say you did all your checks very well.
Yes.
Then, if I'm going to do private vehicle, it's either it's one of these Uber and everything,
or Taxify,
or I wait till it's a regular time of the day, and then I move, and mostly board vehicles from bus stops or from parks and everything. Initially I thought it was going to be difficult because I was like, maybe this is just going to be the initial thing, maybe for the first 1 month I'll keep remembering every day. But it has basically become my lifestyle right now. I would rather make plans the day before to go with a sibling or go with a friend, let's go somewhere together, but basically not to, just to be as careful as possible. And still goes back to God. when stuff happened, I was going on some radio shows and everything, and people calling and they're saying, so what advice do you have for people? Blah, blah, blah. I said, if you check the whole story, there was no part that I played. All I know I did was maybe I kept quiet, and I don't know if that is a strategy, but there was nothing about me involved in it. So it's just me being helpless, taken to a place. And
I didn't even ask about the other guy. You said there was another guy in the car. Do you know what happened to him?
At the point where
you guys were separated?
Yes.
Okay.
At the point where I was taken into the room, that was the last I heard of
from him.
From the
so
person.
You don't know what.
As I said, I'm not sure if the person was just saying that.
Yes.
Or for me to feel there was a second person. Or actually,
victim,
he was the second victim.
Thank you very much for this story. I'm sure those that are watching have learned a thing or two. You know, and I've been chasing him for a while to get this story because for me it's an amazing story. People get kidnapped every day in Lagos State, and many of them are never ever found. He told me when I was chatting with him privately that the police said that on a daily basis people come and make complaints and say they are missing a sibling or a relative is missing and all that, and many times these people don't ever get found. And you said you lost a cousin or so some time ago who was kidnapped and was never returned as well.
That was when I was very small,
very young.
So at that point, while I was away, all I was thinking about was my mom, because it's just like a replay of the same scenario. So thank you very much for watching. Our prayer is that nobody and none of your relatives in this 2018 will ever be a victim of this kind of thing. Amen.
And Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to an amazing year. The next show will be next Saturday. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.